All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're exploring a really interesting idea from the teachings of Barbara O'Neill, and it's all about a problem that so many of us have. You know that feeling of being thirsty all the time, even when you're chugging water all day long? Well, we're going to unpack that.
So, does this hit close to home for you? You're doing everything right. You've got the giant water bottle, you're tracking your intake, you're hitting those 8 glasses a day, and yet you still feel parched. The teaching we're digging into today says you're not imagining it. There's likely a huge piece of the puzzle you're missing.
Okay, so this right here is the key distinction. It's not just about getting water into your body, it's about getting water into your cells. You see, there's surface hydration, where the water kind of just hangs out outside the cells. And what happens then? Well, you just end up running to the bathroom a lot. But then there's cellular hydration. That's the real goal. That's when the water actually gets inside the cells to power everything up. So the big question is, how do we get it in? And that leads us to the big reveal of this whole concept. The idea is that water, well, it doesn't like to work alone. It needs a partner, a secret ingredient to actually get the job done right. And it's something most of us have been told to avoid.
And that missing partner is unrefined salt. Now hold on, we're not talking about the regular white table salt you see everywhere. According to this source, that stuff has been stripped of all its good minerals. We're talking about a whole food salt, something like Celtic Sea Salt, that's packed with magnesium and a whole bunch of other essential trace minerals.
So there it is. This is the central idea. The minerals in this unrefined salt are basically the key that unlocks real, deep cellular hydration. Without them, all that water you're drinking is just passing right through. So let's get into the mechanics of how this incredible partnership is supposed to work. So what's the science here? How does a little pinch of salt make such a big difference? It's not just about making your water salty. There's a specific process at the cellular level that's supposed to happen, and it's pretty amazing. Out of all those 92 minerals, there's one that's the absolute MVP of this whole operation: magnesium. Just think of magnesium as the doorman for your cells. It has the key that opens the door and lets the water inside. Without that key, water's just left standing outside. And here's how it all plays out step by step. First, you put a little crystal of the salt on your tongue. Right away, your mucous membranes start absorbing those minerals. That magnesium gets to work, traveling to your cells, where it acts like a little magnet, pulling water in with it. And get this, that rush of water is set to kickstart a tiny motor in the cell membrane that starts spinning and actually generating energy. How cool is that? This quote really just hits the nail on the head. It explains the entire paradox we started with. It's why you can drink and drink and drink and still feel thirsty. Without those minerals to pull the water in, it just stays on the outside. And your body says, well, I guess we don't need this, and flushes it right out. Okay, so the theory sounds pretty compelling, right? But what does this actually look like in your daily life? Well, the good news is the source lays out a really simple, really specific protocol to follow. And it's honestly this easy. Before you drink a glass of water, you just take one single crystal of Celtic salt, pop it on your tongue, let it start to dissolve, and then drink your water. That's it. The idea is to just repeat that simple little step with every glass of water you have during the day, making sure every drop has its mineral partner to guide it. Now, there are also some important rules about how and when you drink. You want to sip your water little by little. Think of it like a gentle rain soaking into the soil, not a huge flood that just runs right off. Definitely drink first thing when you wake up to rehydrate from the night. And this is a big one. Try to avoid drinking with meals. Stop about 30 minutes before and wait about 90 minutes after, so you don't water down your digestive juices. But the most important rule of all, don't wait until you're thirsty. Thirst is your body's emergency alarm. It means you're already behind. So as you can see, this goes way beyond just feeling less thirsty. The teaching connects this simple idea of cellular hydration to the entire foundation of our health. It suggests that getting this one thing right can create a positive ripple effect throughout your whole body. And according to the source material, when we're in a state of chronic cellular dehydration, our bodies have to start making compromises. It's suggested that many conditions we deal with, like high blood pressure, asthma, allergies, even diabetes, could actually be the body's clever but desperate ways of managing a long-term water shortage. And this quote just perfectly sums up the whole philosophy. The core belief is that our bodies are incredibly smart and are always trying to heal themselves. Our job isn't to force things or fix the body, but to simply give it what it needs, like properly mineralized water, and then just get out of the way. Which leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about, doesn't it? If something as basic as drinking water could be this misunderstood, what other fundamental pillars of health might we be overlooking? It's a great reminder to stay curious and always be willing to question what we think we know. Thanks for joining me for this one.